Let's move on to the next one, which is compound sentences. Compound sentences contain two independent clauses, simple sentences, in other words, joined by or combined by a coordinating conjunction. A coordinating conjunction. So, what are coordinating conjunctions? Right? To make it easier for you, coordinating conjunctions are conjunctions like for, and, no, but, or, yet, so. Right? To make it easy for you to remember this, let's remember this. What should we call this acronym? Fanboys. Fanboys. F for, A for and, B for but, O for or, Y for yet, and last but not least, S is for so. So, a compound sentence will have two independent clauses, or a compound sentence will have two simple sentences which are joined by or which are combined by one of the conjunction in fanboys. So it can be either one. It may be for, it can be and, it can be no, but, or yet. So depending on what you want to say. Alright? So except for very short sentences, these conjunctions are always preceded by a comma. Meaning to say, most of the time there will be a comma. Alright, so where is the comma? It's basically somewhere in the middle of a sentence before the coordinating conjunction or before the fanboys. Right, to make it clearer for you, let's look at the examples here. A, I try to speak Spanish, comma, and my friend tried to speak English. Right. So let's see. So compound sentence again is two independent clause. An independent clause is also the same with simple sentence. And a simple sentence must have at least a subject and a verb. And it must be a complete idea or thought. It cannot be hanging. Right, so let's look at the first part. So basically, a compound sentences will have two clauses, right, or two parts to the sentence. Right, so the first one, as you can see in the green one, okay, so I tried to speak Spanish. I tried to speak Spanish itself is basically an independent clause or a simple sentence. All right, it doesn't need another sentence to make it complete. If you just write I try to speak Spanish alone itself, you can understand it very well. It's very clear. All right. So we have a subject and a verb, I subject, and then a predicate, try to speak Spanish. Right. So a compound sentence is two independent clauses combined or joined by a coordinating conjunction. So coordinating conjunctions, fanboy. So here the conjunction that is being used is and. And so fanboys. It's the second one. For and fan. Right. So fanboys. Now, if you notice, before the conjunction, there's a comma. Right. So you need to have a comma between the two independent clauses before the coordinating conjunction or before the fanboys. So I try to speak Spanish, comma, and then we move on to the second independent clause, a second simple sentence. My friend tried to speak English. My friend tried to speak English. My friend, the subject, tried to speak English is the predicate, or tried to speak is basically the verb phrase. Alright, so we have two clauses, two independent clauses, combined with the coordinating conjunction of Venn boys. Alright, and before Venn boys we have a comma. So this itself is what we call a compound sentence. Compound, combine. All right, let's look at the second one.